crafty friends, and thank you so much for joining me today. With this stamp set, I'm sure you will find it to be a staple in your craft room. Today, I am using the Altenew Dotted Mandala stamp. This was given to me by Altenew, and I know it's going to be one of my favorites. Today, I'm going to create 4 different cards, and I'm going to walk you through how I do each of them. The first, I'm going to secure my paper in my MISTI, getting it just right. The inks I will be using today are going to be Altenew. My blues are going to be Galactic Stream, Turquoise, and Persian Blue. My purples are going to be Wisteria, Lavender Fields, and Amethyst. Here, I'm using my anti-static powder because I'm about to emboss in some beautiful silver embossing powder. But before I do that step, I'm going to ink it up with Versamark ink for 3 times, just to make sure I get clear coverage. I've always found that 3 works perfectly for me. Maybe it's just me, but I want to make sure that I don't leave anything not covered. From here, I'm going to use my silver embossing powder. I have found for ease my gold, silver, clear, white, and black. I use in these little containers and scoop out with the spoon that I obtained from the Dollar Tree store. For me, this is the easiest. I give a good flick just to make sure I get any excess powder off and lay to the side. I will heat emboss these later. Now, on to card 2. Here, I start with the turquoise. It's a beautiful blue and love the design. Now, for card 3, I start with Wisteria. Each of these 4 cards will be completely different, but once you have the stamp set, you will see that the ideas and creativity for this particular stamp set is endless. Now for card 4. The background, the blue background that you see there, what I did was I took blue colored paper. I put a grid mark on it and my logo at the top, as well as my Altenew Certified Educator to the right, and laminated it. This was because I was getting tired of all of my little sheets of paper getting all inked up and having to toss it. Here, if I get ink on it, it's okay. Just add a little bit of alcohol or hand sanitizer and it comes right off. So for me, this allows me to not have so much waste in my craft room. I covered this completely with amethyst ink. I like the fact that it goes off the page. See, wipes right off. How easy is that? Now I want to make sure that I get it lined back up where I had it before. So here in a moment, I will take a black dry erase marker and mark my lines just so I can continue to line it up at the same spot every time. And again, it's very faint, but there are grid lines there, so you can line up your paper. On to stamp number 2. With the dotted mandala stamp set, it's very easy to center each stamp right where you want it. Or if you want to offset it, that's easy to do as well. Again, the possibilities with the stamp set are endless. Look how beautiful the lavender fields goes on. What a gorgeous purple. Now we're at the card number 3. You can slowly see my card coming together. So here, I'm going to add a little bit of that silver embossing powder. But before I do that, I add my anti-static powder first and then ink it with Versamark ink. And again, I'm going to do this a couple of times just to ensure I have proper coverage. And then make sure you flick the back really well to knock any excess off. Now we are getting ready to do our third layer, and this will be our final layer for the dotted Mandala stamp set. Here, I do realize that I smudged my embossing powder. Remember, I haven't heat set it yet. I'm going to do that at the end. The reason I waited was I didn't want any warping in my paper. I wanted to make sure it would lay flat and not curl up, as sometimes heat embossing it can tend to do. So now that I have it completely covered back up, I'm ready to move to my stamp number 3. Look how gorgeous this blue is. If you're like me, you're mesmerized by this process. It's so easy, but the beauty, it just shines. Now, the big reveal on the heat embossing. This has got to be my favorite part. I think this is one of the first things that got me hooked onto card making to begin with, was just watching that wow factor on the embossing powder melting. You'll see the shine here in just a second. Ba-bam! Look how gorgeous. Now, time for the sentiments. My card bases are already done. They are 4¼ by 5½, and I did mat it with black cardstock, which I took 1/8 off on each side, just to create a nice frame. I love to always add a little bit of embellishments. Sometimes you don't need it, but today I felt like I needed a little bling. So here I use these little circle confettis, and it just matched perfectly just to add a little more, I guess, texture and a little bit more shine. In the comments below, please let me know which one is your favorite. As always, please like and subscribe. Thank you so much for joining me today.